Hi, I'm Dave Prowse with the tech question of the day for April 17th, 2017. And this is on passwords and password policies. We're looking at a Cisco SG200 switch. We're logged in here on the browser. And the question is, what are the security issues that you see? And there are more than one security issue here. So what are the security issues that you see? And I'll give you a moment to pause the video, and I'll be back in just a bit with the answer. Okay, and we're back. The glaring problem that I'm sure you've seen is that password complexity settings is not enabled. And when that's the case, you can use any password. You could use the word test, or the word Cisco would be okay. So we want that enabled, which opens up these fields here. You definitely want this enabled. Usually this is enabled by default on these types of switches, but you never know, so it's something you can check, and you want to make sure it is enabled, and then you want to check your settings. Well, the minimal password length that's listed here is 4. That's not very much, and that's not the default for this switch. The default is 8. But in some environments, you might have 10, or you might have even 15. That depends on where you work and what you do, and how sensitive the data is and the connections. So we're going to leave that as the default as 8. Then it says allowed character repetition. Well, having characters repeat in a password is not a good idea. You don't want the letter A 5 times in a row, for example. And here it says 10. That means a character could be repeated 10 times. We don't want that. The default for this switch is 3, but you may see a policy for your company that says, no, it's got to be 2 or 1 or even 0. And this way, there's no characters being repeated ever, and that makes it tougher to guess the password if you're an attacker. But we'll leave that as 3 as the default setting. And then finally, minimal number of character classes. Well, I talk about the character classes a lot, and they are uppercase letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters, such as the pound sign. By default, this switch says, okay, we need 3 of those 4 character classes, but you'll find more and more that companies and organizations will require all 4 of those. And so we're going to leave that as 4. Uppercase, lowercase, numbers, and special characters have to be in the password when someone selects it. Now that's just for this switch. It doesn't have to do with any other computers on the network, but it is important for any logins for this switch. Now, password aging was enabled already, so that's good. And also the new password must be different than the current one is also enabled. That's important. You don't want to use the same password in the history, or at least the last password. You want to choose a new password at X amount of intervals. So we're going to apply that now. And it says success. And having a little fun with the Cisco SG200 switch. So that is the answer for the tech question. And we'll throw in a giveaway here. This is kind of a security question. So here we got a free giveaway. Security Plus Cert Guide Academic Edition. If you put in the code into Facebook, that's SG200. That's the secret code, SG200. And first person to put in the code gets this last copy of mine of the Cert Guide for Security Plus Academic Edition. That's SYO401. So that's it for the tech question of the day. Have a good one. I'm Dave Prowse. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to contact me at davidlprowse.com.